The richest Russian oligarchs. For a growing quantity of Russia's richest and maximum effective men, now could be a completely bad time to take their jets and superyachts to their mansions in the United States. Recently, the White House introduced that it would amplify the listing of the Russian oligarchy's problem to full blockading sanctions, the very best stage of restrictions, as it ramps up punishment against Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. Some of the newly named oligarchs overlap with a list of Russian elites on whom the European Union imposed sanctions earlier, although there were a few exceptional differences. Hello guys, and welcome to our YouTube channel. In this video, we are talking about the richest Russian oligarchs. But before we continue our video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more videos. So, let's get started. Vladimir Putin. The second most extravagant man in Russia, the broker, metals mining investor, and previous delegate state head Vladimir Putin was among a little circle of oligarchs who met with Putin as the intrusion of Ukraine started. Putin's plays had a major influence on American expressions. He has been a bored individual from New York's Guggenheim Museum for a long time until he ventured down recently. He has likewise given millions to the Kennedy Center in Washington, which cut his name into a divider. He is likewise known to have claimed property in New York City, which became exposed during a separation battle that could cost him $7 billion. Mikhail Fridman. Peter Aven's colleague, Mikhail Fridman, is Alpha Group's author and a Ukrainian-conceived Russian oligarch. Fridman has made significant interests in the United States, which incorporates spending a revealed $1 billion in 2011 to purchase up troubled properties across the East Coast, telling the Wall Street Journal at that point, "The American market is the most all-around controlled and fluid market on the planet. It has the best security for financial backer freedoms." Through Fridman's speculation bunch, Letter 1, the tycoon likewise sank $200 million into Uber and $50 million into the telecom startup Freedom Pop. Fridman likewise created a ruckus in 2018 when he talked close by Aven at a shut entryway supper facilitated by the Atlantic Council, a significant U.S. international strategy think tank, in what pundits considered an informal Kremlin mission to challenge U.S. sanctions. Also, Fridman became one of the principal oligarchs to revolt against the attack on Ukraine, considering it a misfortune and composing that war can never be the response. Nonetheless, Fridman was exposed to sanctions on Monday by the EU, which named him as a top Russian lender and empowering influence of Putin's inward circle. Like Aven, he has not yet been put under sanctions by the US or UK. Peter Aven. Peter Aven is the head of Alpha Group, a business bank, subject to the U.S. endorses that assisted him with hoarding an expected $5.5 billion fortune. A notable authority of traditional Russian compositions, Aven has loaned works from his assortment, allegedly worth $200 million, to New York's Museum of Modern Art and the New Gallery. Aven supposedly has never purchased a plane or yacht, and told the FT, "All my cash goes into workmanship." That is, if you don't count the large numbers he spent changing an 8.5 section of a land plot in England into a KGB confirmation shadow, complete with a bomb evidence alarm room. Last year, Aven recorded a slander claim against HarperCollins for a book it distributed about Vladimir Putin's ascent, Putin's people. Aven was authorized by the EU, which depicted him as one of Vladimir Putin's nearest oligarchs, and one of roughly 50 well-off Russian finance managers who consistently meet with Vladimir Putin in the Kremlin. He has not yet been set under sanctions by the US or UK. Leonid Mikheyev. Russia's most extravagant man in 2016, Leonid Mikheyev is the organizer and executive of gaseous petrol maker Novatek, a dear companion of Putin's and a colleague of Yejini Timchenko, a tycoon who has been under U.S. sanctions beginning around 2014. Mikheyev loves workmanship. Alongside his $200 million craftsmanship assortment, he was on the leading group of legal administrators at New York's new museum from 2013 to 2017 and has supported presentations at the Art Institute of Chicago and London's Tate Modern. His gaudy superyacht, the Pacific, can purportedly oblige 2 helicopters. In any case, his different resources might be more earnestly to follow. In 2017, the Panama Papers uncovered that Mikheyev had utilized a perplexing arrangement of shell organizations to covertly enroll a $65 million Gulfstream personal luxury plane in the United States. Much of the time requires U.S. citizenship or long-lasting residency. Nikolay Taker. One more previous KGB official who served close to Putin and Kamizov Nikolay Taker took over previous Soviet state resources as Putin assembled his political power, and in 2007 turned into the top of the state-controlled oil Goliath Transneft. The oligarch has utilized his situation at Transneft to assemble a business and land realm, which incorporates supporting a very extravagant royal residence that is supposed to be utilized by Putin. Taker was hit by US and EU endorsements too. Sergey Kamizov, a previous KGB official who became friends with Vladimir Putin during the 1980s while living in a similar high-rise, Sergey Kamizov rose through Russia's public and private area afterward, and in 2007 was selected as CEO of Russia's state-claimed Safeguard Goliath Rostec, a position he holds today. Kamizov was authorized by the US in 2014 amid Rostec's job as a provider for Russia's attack on Crimea, and Washington is focusing on him once more, presently with his relatives, as indicated by analytical reports and claims from the imprisoned dissident Alexei Navalny. Kamizov's family members have utilized shell organizations to collect eye-watering resources, including superyachts and extravagant manors all over the planet. In any case, Kamizov says he's perfect, telling Russian media in 2019, "I don't gather abundance. I don't stuff cash in the corners. I don't have yachts or planes." Yejini Priguchen. Allegedly, Yejini Priguchen started his ascent to control selling wieners, soon after getting let out of jail for theft. The wiener adventure was a raving success, and inside the space of years, he had opened very good quality eateries that considered Russia's chief as a real part of their customers, procuring him the epithet of Putin's cook and catapulting him into the inward circles of Russia's tip-top. Americans may be more acquainted with another of Prigozhin's organizations, the Internet Research Agency, which utilized a savage armed force that started by supporting Russia's 2014 attack on Crimea, before turning its endeavors to impacting the 2016 U.S. official political race for Donald Trump. Prigozhin and the Internet Research Agency were prosecuted by a U.S. terrific jury in 2018 for impeding the political race, and he was added to an FBI needed list in 2021. Igor Shuvalov, Russia's agent state head from 2008 to 2018, Igor Shuvalov is currently the executive of VEB, the Russian advancement bank that funds significant foundation projects, including the Sochi Olympics. He has professed to be one of Russia's cleanest authorities, telling media he moved all his wealth to Russia in 2013 and just kept it seaward before that to try not to indulge his children. In any case, an examination by the counter-debasement dissident Alexei Navalny tracked down that Shuvalov, through a shell organization, purchased 2 London extravagance condos in 2014 for $11.4 million and has utilized a mysterious personal luxury plane to fly his better half's corgis all over the planet because, as one of his staff members made sense of, it isn't so much that agreeable in business class. The Rotenbergs. Sometime before siblings Arkady and Boris Rotenberg became 2 of Russia's richest big shots, they were high school Vladimir Putin's judo-preparing amigos, a job they went on into adulthood. They were great at it, because after Putin became president, he compensated the siblings with the control of huge state-possessed ventures and worthwhile agreements, netting them a monstrous fortune. Notice, the Rotenbergs have since fabricated a gigantic family domain of global speculations under a snare of shell organizations, which has made Arkady's child Igor a tycoon by his own doing. Notwithstanding Arkady and Boris getting U.S. sanctions after Russia's 2014 intrusion of Crimea, the siblings proceeded with effectively taking an interest in the U.S. craftsmanship market by buying more than $18 million workmanship soon after the inconvenience of approvals, as per a U.S. Senate report. Rotenberg-connected shell organizations kept making exchanges in the U.S. monetary framework worth more than $91 million long after the authorizations, as indicated by the report. Notwithstanding Arkady and Boris, Igor and 5 extra relatives were added to the U.S. sanctions list this week. Aleksei Usmanov. Russians know Aleksei Usmanov as one of Vladimir Putin's #1 oligarchs. The country's most extravagant man until 2015, Usmanov possesses a greater part stake in Russia's second biggest telephone organization, Megafon, and an enormous stake in the iron and steel Goliath Metal Invest. Yet, barely any Americans realize that Usmanov likewise helped give us Facebook. The extremely rich person started putting resources into the informal organization in 2009 when Zuckerberg's firm was experiencing difficulty getting to subsidizing right after the monetary emergency. Usmanov at last emptied more than $900 million into the firm, possessing as much as 10% of the organization before selling his stake in 2014 and netting himself billions. He was likewise a significant financial backer in Apple, Twitter, LinkedIn, Groupon, and Zynga. Usmanov was exposed to sanctions by the EU on Monday, and on Wednesday German specialists held onto his $600 million mega yacht, the Dilbar, which flaunts the world's biggest yacht-based indoor pool. On 3rd March, he was among those added to the authorizations list by the U.S. The oligarch has a $200 million private Airbus A340. We hope that you enjoyed the video. If so, then make sure you like it, subscribe to us for more, and tap the bell icon to get notified when we have a new one. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.